So, I've played the Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Blackout Beta for a good 3 to 5 hours now. So I feel like I have a good grasp of what the game is, what I think of the game, and everything like that. So let's just dive deep into my thoughts and my opinions on the Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Blackout Beta. So it's just my opinion. If you play the beta and you have a different opinion, let me know down in the comments, as well as possibly tips for Blackout that maybe I don't know that could possibly increase my enjoyment of the game. But this is just my experience so far and what I'm thinking of it, and how possibly they can improve the game in the future to make it better for launch. So the big problem with the game that I find is that it's just way too slow. I don't really land, I don't really hide, I don't really land in places that aren't populated. I go to the named places, but if it's just you and maybe one other person there, and you just run around the map, get to the circle and everything, you're not going to find people. I found it very difficult to find people. The highest that I made it is top 4. And at the end, I got a sweet double kill, triple kill. And that was really fun because, I got in a fight. You fight people. That's the whole point of it. So there's people there. That was fun. But the whole, 20 minutes leading up to that, I only found, one other person. And I just shot him in an ATK. So there wasn't even a fight to go on there. And then the whole game was just me running and looting, which isn't fun. It's just boring. It's boring just walking around and not being in any kind of fight or anything in particular that has any kind of enjoyment value. The other thing is the gliding is very weird. It's difficult to land where you want to land, because when you're not when you're parachuting it, just when you're going down, when you're falling down, when you're free falling, it's not smooth. It's not precise. It's very, very clunky. It's slow too to turn and everything. It's not like you can turn and go exactly where you want. Once you're falling down, you're basically going wherever you drop. So in this game, you basically gotta drop over exactly where you want to land. With the parachute, I don't think you could open the parachute early. I could be wrong about that. I tried a lot of things. I couldn't get it to open early. But once it's opened, it's very, very, very difficult to glide and aim and make it go where you want it to go. So basically, once your parachute opens, you're basically landing exactly where it opened. Which is another problem, because if I want to land, say, at Nuketown Islands, and if I drop a little bit earlier, I'm in the water. Because the parachute's just very weird and hard to maneuver with. Another problem that I faced is, throughout the time of me playing, I got kicked a lot from games. I got kicked probably about 5 to 7 times, and sometimes they were good games, where I had maybe 4 or 5 kills. Other times it was when I had 0 kills, so that didn't really matter too much, but it's just very frustrating to get kicked from a game. Especially when it's a game like Blackout, and these games take forever. So if you're 20 minutes into a game, you don't want that game to just kick you, because you might have a chance of winning. I haven't won yet. I don't know what it says when you win. I never made it to that point. But it's just frustrating for any game to have you get kicked. It's just not a fun experience overall. The gunplay is fine. It's something you would expect from Call of Duty. It's usual Call of Duty gunplay. But the actual looting system in the game, again, very clunky, very, very weird. You have to hold down and pick stuff up, which in itself isn't as fast, because you have to stop and hold square to pick things up instead of walking over them like in the game. I don't want to compare this to Fortnite a lot, because they're two different kinds of battle royale. I don't like to compare them, but for this sake, I feel like it makes sense. In Fortnite, you just press square and it's equipped. But with Blackout, you have to hold square, which in itself is slower. So say you got somebody behind you and you need a new gun, say you're out of ammo, you have to hold down square for that ammo, or you got to hold down square for that new gun instead of swapping very fast with that square and then turning around and shooting the person behind you. That right there is slower. But also when you're just looting around, you're walking, and you don't want to have to stop every single time you find something to pick something up, which I found is what I had to do a lot. I had to stop and I was going too fast, so I had to stop and hold square and pick stuff up instead of just going around looting stuff that I want. It's also very difficult to, at least for me, I don't know if that happens with other people, but it's very difficult for me to, not difficult, that's the wrong word, but confusing to open up the inventory. Because for this game, it's options. You have to press options to open the inventory, which in itself is weird because I feel like options should just be there for like your game controls if you want to leave the game, stuff like that. But for the inventory to be like that, I feel like I'm pressing something wrong. With most games, you don't really want to press options. It's not really a part of the gameplay. But with this, it is. So I always like have that split second down in my mind that, oh wait, I just pressed the wrong button. Let me just press circle, gonna exit out of that. Which it's not. That's what you're supposed to do. So that right there is confusing in itself when you're in a game and say you want to equip an attachment, and I'll get to that in a second, or equip a grenade and throw that. It's very just jolting because, you know, you think you're pressing the wrong button. At least in my experience, that's what I feel like. Now with the attaching of attachments. I like that there is attachments. I think that is a good way to differentiate yourself from a game like Fortnite. I like that. It's hard to explain this one. With this, when you don't have your inventory open, with some attachments, it doesn't automatically go into your backpack. At least in my experience. With some attachments, it just swaps them. So say I have, I don't know, a shotgun and an assault rifle. And say I have, I don't know, grip and a red dot sight. When I have the red dot sight on, and I go try to pick up the grip, it swaps it instead of putting it in my backpack or putting it on the other gun. At least with me. And that's frustrating, because I don't want to have to go back to the options. I don't want to have to press options, feel like I did something wrong, and then just get in this whole kerfuffle of things, which ends up possibly getting me killed if somebody's behind me. Which, again, I'll get to that in a second as well. There's a problem with that. So it's weird in that sense that it swaps the attachments instead of putting it to your backpack or putting it on the gun. Now to enemies behind you and stuff like that. I play with headphones because I feel like you gotta play with headphones in this kind of game. It's meant for it. It ups the gameplay. And I was thinking, okay, it's you know, it's a battle royale kind of game. You're running a lot, you're stomping a lot of leaves, a lot of grass everywhere. You're gonna hear them. You're gonna hear your opponents. False. I got snuck up on so many times that it's ridiculous. I know there's a perk where dead silence, where you can't be heard. Okay, that's fair. But the amount of times that I got snuck up on or shot from behind or whatever, it wasn't that attached. It wasn't that perk, I mean. It definitely was some kind of either audio issue or it just wasn't in the game itself to hear people behind you. Which frustrated me, because other times I heard people fine. I heard people footsteps in a building. I was like, alright, they're in this building. Let's go around. Alright, I hear an ATK coming. I hear a helicopter coming. So it's not like it's totally broken. But there are definitely times where I was like, well, where did they come from? I didn't hear them. That's ridiculous. Let's go to my example like I was saying earlier, where I got that nice triple kill. Somebody snuck up behind me and was top 4 and I'm dead. Because I didn't hear him, because that wasn't in... That just wasn't happening, which is weird. Because you would definitely think with this kind of game, with the boots they have, with the leaves and the grass everywhere, and them running with all the heavy gear, you would definitely hear them coming, but for some reason, you don't hear them coming, which is a huge problem, and they gotta fix that. So, those are all the bad things. Oh, one more bad thing. Nuketown Island isn't good. I know this is just opinion-based. I know this isn't really anything that they can really change, but they used a Nuketown Island that isn't really the... I think it's the Black Ops 1 version of Nuketown. And for me, I play a lot of Black Ops 2, so maybe that's why I don't like it, but this is just my opinion, so I thought it was worth mentioning. Nuketown Island looks like Indiana Jones 4, Nuketown. Which, I guess in the name it's fine, so I guess it's not different to its name. But when you think of Nuketown in Call of Duty, you think of those two houses. You think of orange and blue. You think of those two buses. You know, you think of Nuketown in multiplayer. That's what you think of. So for Nuketown Island not to be that, it kind of takes you by surprise. Like, when I first went to Nuketown Island, I was thinking, alright, so which house am I going to drop? Is it going to be a whole complex where it's a bunch of those kind of houses? It's going to be a bunch of buses like that? No, it's a nuclear fallout site, which again is what it says. It's Nuketown Island, so it makes sense. But in the context of a Black Ops game, it's weird to see. When you associate stuff with Nuketown and Black Ops, you think of those houses, right? So that's just my little opinion on that. Again, that's all opinion. That's just me, probably different for somebody else. So it's on to the good things about this game, and there are some. There are some good things about the game. I like that you can customize your character with previous characters that we've seen around the Black Ops history. I got Woods, Mason, Richtofen, Resna, Menendez, just to name a few. I like that, and I like how you can customize it with other multiplayer specialists as well. That's pretty cool. That's definitely a plus side. I like that. I like how there's drivable vehicles. That's something that, personally, me, and I know some of my friends have been asking for a long time in Black Ops multiplayer. Drivable tanks, drivable helicopters, stuff like that. Not multiplayer, not really what we wanted, but we still got it. And they're pretty fun. The ATKs are fun. The trucks are fun to drive. I haven't piloted a helicopter yet, because I either always get blown up in them, or they're all taken. So I haven't piloted one of those yet. I assume they're fun to use. So that's cool. I like how some of the places around the map, not all of them, are places from the previous games. I can't remember a lot about Black Ops 1, so I don't know if there's some of those maps. I haven't played Black Ops 4 that beta, so I don't know about that. But one that sticks out to me that I like to land a lot is, it's not named, it's like right outside of the Nuketown Island. It's a transit map. It's the diner from Transit. I played Transit all the time. I used to come home from school, get on Xbox, and hop on zombies with my friends, and we played Transit all the time. And it's great. I mean that's so fun. You know, to play that, it's a lot of nostalgia, I understand, but it's still just really fun. It's cool that there are mystery boxes, and that with those mystery boxes come zombies, wherever that is. But I feel like the mystery boxes, at least one mystery box, should stay in that zombies area, because it's zombies. You know, there should, in my opinion, there should always be zombies in that transit area, because that's what makes it Transit. Yeah, the look looks like Transit, it looks cool, but it's not Transit without zombies. And the first time I landed there were zombies. The mystery box was there, so I thought that every single time there were gonna be zombies there, because it was like the like the zombies game. The next time I landed there, no mystery box, no zombies. I was like, oh wait, they gotta be with the mystery box. That makes sense, but it's just weird that there's no zombies with Transit. Saying that though, it is very cool that there are zombies in the game. That's a great way to incorporate it. It's so cool too, because say you're playing against somebody, you're fighting somebody, you reload, you have to go behind, but then you hear zombies, you're like, oh wait, I can use this to my advantage. You make a train of zombies, you run around, and you go and they get the other two. So they come into play there strategically, which is very cool. I like that. And I like the armor system. I'll address the big elephant in the room about this game in a second, but I like that there's armor. It's different than the Fortnite potions. It's different than that. I like it. I like the bandage system. I like the healing system like that. It's pretty cool. It definitely adds a different kind of playstyle to it. Hopefully, if they're able to fix that inventory system, if they're able to fix the picking up system, it'll be better. But the big elephant in the room that I haven't addressed yet is the fact that this game is so much like PUBG. I haven't played PUBG on the PC, so I can't speak about that. But I have played PUBG on both mobile and Xbox. And it's basically the same. The controls on the Xbox PUBG are atrocious, so the controls are better with Black Ops for Blackout. The controls are nothing to complain about there. They're fine. They're what you would expect. So in that sense, it's better than PUBG. But it's just so similar. They got an armor system. The guns blend into the bottom because they're guns, which makes sense. But they blend into the environment. You gotta pick them up, you know. So you got inventory. You attach attachments through your inventory, stuff like that. There's backpacks to increase your inventory space. It's a lot like PUBG. Even the parachute system. I can never get used to the parachute system in PUBG. It's very difficult for me to land like that. Same with this. The parachute system is basically exactly the same. Which sucks. Because I was hoping for an original kind of battle royale. It had a lot of potential because it's Black Ops. But it's just... in one way it is original because of that zombie factor. Because it incorporates everything throughout the Black Ops history. But PUBG games take forever. PUBG games are slow paced. Blackout games take forever. Blackout games take slow paced, are slow paced. Sorry. It's hard not to feel like you're playing PUBG when you're playing this. And as not really a huge fan of PUBG, that doesn't help. If you're a huge fan of PUBG, you might love this. But since I'm not a fan of PUBG, that kind of brought down my liking, I think, because I was thinking like, oh wait, this is like PUBG and I like that game, stuff like that. I associate it with just bad memories, bad gameplay. Like I said though, these are my opinions. I personally don't recommend Blackout. I'm not sure if I'll be getting Black Ops 4. When they released that Blackout trailer, I got so hyped for the game. I started thinking of, okay, so now I wasn't planning on getting Black Ops 4 before. Now Blackout looks amazing. I might get it now. How can I incorporate this to my channel schedule where I wasn't before? But now, I don't know. Because multiplayer... I didn't play the multiplayer beta, but it looked very similar to Black Ops 3, which I already have, so I don't know if I want to spend $60 on that. The zombies look really fun, I can't deny that, but am I going to buy a game just for the zombies? And now Blackout, that was kind of like the ride or die here, and it's not good. So I can't recommend it, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't try it out for yourself. Right now, it's still in the private beta. If you're on Xbox, I think you don't have to pay for the game. You can just pre-order it and then cancel it. You don't have to pay for it. On PlayStation, unfortunately, you do have to buy the full game unless you find some kind of code that you can get. That's how I got it. I was fortunate enough to win a code from XSGX Gaming. So shout out to him. I'll leave his link to the channel in the description. Huge shout out to him for giving away this code. But I just can't recommend it. I didn't find it enjoyable at all. I would say just go with Fortnite. Stay with Fortnite. It's free. It's widely accessible. Whereas Blackout, you're going to have to pay $60. You're not going to have any cross-era, and it's just not going to be fun. But if you played Blackout already, and you think differently, let me know down in the comments what you think of Blackout, if you enjoyed it or not, and why. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for videos every single day. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully, I'll see you next time.